So we're going to be going over discipline today. I want to do this class because, like I was just saying before I started this recording, that strategies work. There's millions of strategies out there that can work, that can make you money, and that can keep you profitable. But at the end of the day, no matter what strategy you use, no matter what system you use, if you don't have good discipline, if you don't have good emotional discipline, especially, you're not going to be able to use the strategy to make any actual money off of. I was just saying before I started recording, if you're watching this not live, but a lot of people want to see more about strategy. Like, Champ, I want to learn more about candlesticks, volume, all of that, which is great. But we do so many videos off that every day. And you guys see the strategy, and most of you are not profitable. It's because it's not the strategy that's the problem. It is the discipline. So if that's the case, I'm trying to prioritize this discipline class because I've gotten a lot of text messages from my top 4 members this week saying that they blew accounts, that they emotionally have not traded well. They maybe were green 3 days in a row, and then day 4 comes around and they blow all their gains. The typical things that I see from people all the time when it comes to trading and being in the zone in this entire process. It's not hard to win, like I say all the time. It's only hard to win and not lose your ass after a lot of wins. Most of the time, a lot of you guys will see that you'll make $1,000 in a week, maybe $2,000, and then the next week you lose $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, whatever it is. Let's get right into this class and talk about the bullet points that I want to go over and why I wanted to do this class in the first place. I wrote this down earlier. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Every blown account, every revenge trade, it all comes down to one thing: discipline. I would assume that 90% of the time you lose an account, it's not because of your strategy. It's not because of your it's not because of your trading model. You're blowing accounts because of your discipline. You're not disciplined. You don't need, I want everybody to write this down actually. You don't need more setups. It's not the truth. You don't need more entries. You just need more self-control. You don't need more setups. You just need more self-control. That is the key factor here. Let's talk about the foundation of discipline. We're going to talk about an emotional trader versus a mechanical trader. So we're going to talk about, let's just say, trader A and trader B. Got 2 types of traders, okay? Trader A is the emotional trader. I'm just going to put EM for emotional. And trader B is going to be the mechanical trader. I'll put an M for mechanical. An emotional trader trades off of impulse. An emotional trader chases moves. An emotional trader also, this is the number one that I hear all the time, wants to blame the market. How many of y'all sometimes think the market's just not in your favor? That's called blaming the market. Stop blaming the market. A mechanical trader has a plan, and he trades the plan, or she. A mechanical trader accepts losses. It's a big one. Did it today. Y'all didn't see me revenge trade, right? No one saw me revenge trade today. I wasn't even at my daily loss limit. I didn't revenge trade. I walked away. A mechanical trader follows rules. I want you guys to write all this down if you are taking notes. An emotional trader trades off of impulse, they chase moves, and they blame the market. A mechanical trader plans before they trade. They accept losses whenever they are in drawdown, and they follow their rules to a T. Let me take a sip of my water. Y'all put a 1 in the chat if you're with me right now. I know some of y'all are driving, so. The real question is, every single day that you approach the market, you choose which one you are. You can either be trader A or you can be trader B. The choice is yours. Something that I like to go off of. I read this in I've only read a couple books about trading recently. I've been getting into it, and I wrote this down. That discipline is just choosing logic over emotion, because and you can write this down too, logic over emotion. And what that means is that, for example, if you're in a trade and you see that the trade is going down and making lower highs and lower lows, but you're in longs for upside, instead of saying okay, it might eventually go up, that's emotion, to saying, hey, using some logic and saying, hey, we're making lower highs and lower lows. Let's get out and wait for us to take out a high and retrace with a higher low first, right, for an entry. That is logic over emotion. The 3 rules of discipline. 3 R O D. This is what we'll call it, the 3 rod. I just made that up on the spot, but 3 rod. 3 rules of discipline. I'm going to start using that more often. Number 1 rule is plan the trade. Plan the trade. If you like to journal, write it down before entry. Number 2. This is funny. Trade the plan. So we talked about it, right? Plan the trade, but now you're going to trade the plan. Now, I did that. I did that kind of funny, but in reality, it's actually true. Plan the trade, and number 2 is trade the plan. What's that mean? No adjusting mid-trade because of fear or greed. So I'm going to write fear and greed. And we're going to get a red color here, and we're going to X this shit out because we don't want it. No fear, no greed. Trade the plan. If your stop loss is a 5-point stop loss and you get close to that stop loss, don't go move that damn thing. Just wait. Just wait for it to hit and re-enter. And number 3, last but not least, is review. A disciplined trader plans the trade, trades the plan, and last but not least, reviews the execution, not the P&L. Reviews the execution and not the P&L. I don't give a shit about you making $5, $500, $5,000. If you're losing more than you're winning, then your P&L does not matter. Review the execution. Review the execution. The 3 rod, the 3 rules of discipline. Let's talk about why it's so hard to be disciplined in the market. Causes. Well, let's see. Let's type in why discipline is hard. Let me know in the chat. Do y'all like how we do the whiteboard instead of just like slideshows? I feel like this is more interactive. Let me know in the chat. I've been doing this for a while, but I really think it's better than I really think it's better than doing it like in a slideshow. I think it's just better. I like the whiteboard. Bet. Okay, bet. I'm gonna put this over here. All right. Why is discipline so hard? It's because the brain is wired for comfort. That is why. That's one reason. And when you lose, When you lose, you want revenge. Put a 1 in the chat if you've had trouble with that. Whenever you take a loss, you start revenge trading, trying to make it back. And when you win, this is crazy, right? This is crazy. So your brain is wired for comfort and not consistency. Right? So it wants comfort, but whenever you lose, you revenge trade, right? But whenever you win, you just want more. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy how the human mind works? You want your brain and your mind, your body wants comfort. It doesn't care about consistency. I mean, obviously, like, consistency is good for us, but our brain and body doesn't actually care about consistency. It wants comfort. Sometimes consistency can cause comfort for most people like me, but if we didn't need consistency, we would just be comfortable like without it. We wouldn't do it. But then when we lose, we want to have revenge, but when we win, we want more. Does that make sense, guys? Isn't it crazy how that works? When we lose, we want revenge, but when we win, we want more. So it's like we never want to stop. That's the problem. To me, these two right here, casino. That's what it sounds like to me. When you've seen a setup form, you've already hit your daily goal. There's two types of people, okay? We'll go back to the A and B. Let's say that you just took a trade and you're up $1,000. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's say person A is up $500 on the day. Now let's say this. Let's do this, make it easier. Person A wanted to make $200 today, right? And they ended up making $215. Person A hit their goal. Person B made, let's say, $110 today. So they wanted to make $110 today, but they ended up making $120. So both traders have hit their goals. What happens next? Trader A and Trader B both see a new setup. When Trader A and Trader B have both hit their daily goal and they see a new setup forming, one trader is going to say, all right, just one more. One more trade. It's A plus, right? One more trade. And person B is going to say, nope, I'm done. Trader A might make more money. Trader A might lose all their money. We don't know what's going to happen here. But what can we know for a fact is going to happen over here? Can anybody put it in chat? We don't know what happens over here because they take another trade. But what do we know is going to happen over here? We know that we are going to be done for the day and we're going to be green and we're going to hit our goals because we already hit our goal of 110. So no matter what, maybe we made less than this person A. Maybe we don't, maybe we made more if they lost all 200, right? We don't know because we do know for a fact that person B walks away disciplined and green. There you go. Ty Law said he keeps his money. Exactly. That's what we do know for sure. Discipline will sometimes feel like restriction. And you're damn right. It is restriction. But you know what else it actually is? Protection. If any of you guys can put 2 and 2 together, you get this point, okay? It is restriction, but it's more of protection. To restrict you from losing your ass in trading. If you're going to be disciplined and you want to have a good framework, we're going to call this framework, this little section here. If you want a disciplined framework, you need to set a daily loss limit, DLL, We'll call it a PDLL actually, personal daily loss limit. Max loss. You also need to give yourself max trades. Nobody in here should be taking 20 to 30 trades a day. That's ridiculous. Another thing you need to do with a good framework, max losses. Now, we already did a PDLL, but let's do max loss trades. Max loss trades, because you might, like today, I lost 2 trades today, guys. I wasn't at my PDLL of $1,000, but I still walked away because I said, hey, I'm already lost 2 trades, both trying to trade the same direction, getting faked out both times. I'm done. Instead of taking another trade, I could have taken more trades today, but why give myself that drawdown when I can just wait for tomorrow and get a better setup? And last but not least, for a good framework, A+ only setups. A+ setups only. Highlighting that shit. Highlighting that. A+ setups, max loss trades, max trades, and a personal daily loss limit to make sure that you do not lose your account off of one day or one trade. That is a discipline type of framework. Let me take a sip of my water. Let's talk about the discipline ladder. ChatGPT helped me out with this one because I was trying to figure out a visual, and it kind of did everything for me here, which is nice. Discipline ladder. Let me go back and fix that look. Discipline ladder. There are 3 levels, of discipline that you're going to get to. Okay, you need 3 types of, we can call them levels. All right? Level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 1 is going to be awareness. Okay, that's the first step of realizing that discipline is becoming a habit. Awareness. That is realizing that emotion has taken over. For an example, how many times have y'all gotten in a trade and said, yep, I definitely chased this trade? That is awareness. Once you've accomplished awareness and you've learned your lesson, you now are going to get to control. Control is stopping before you act, stopping yourself from taking that chased trade. You're not going to chase that trade because you know that you've had this happen before and what happened last time you chased the trade. For an example, it's I wanted to chase, but I did not chase the trade. When you finally see it and you say, okay, I see that we're going up. I'm bullish, but I'm not chasing this move. I'm going to wait for a pullback. That is exactly when you realize that you were starting to have control. Now, if you want to get to where I'm at, obviously I still struggle with these 2 myself. Everybody does. Number 3 is going to be automation. Automation. Automation is when discipline becomes instinct. When you see the market push up, you don't even want to chase anymore. You don't even think about it. When the market pushes up, you're in the bottom of the market. You bought the longs at the very bottom. That is when you get to automation. When you hit that 3rd level on the discipline ladder of automation, and you tell yourself that I don't even think about chasing anymore. That is whenever you have gotten to the top level of where you're trying to be in trading, and your discipline is unmatched. Something that some people will talk about with discipline and trading is the rule of 100. And this basically means, and you can write this down, is that 100 disciplined trades will teach you more than one lucky streak. You go trade gold for a week and you make the most money of your life by gambling, basically. You're going to learn less there than you would taking 100 trades for $100 each, win or lose. That is going to teach you a lot more, because 100 disciplined trades, I truly believe if you keep your process consistent for 100, 200, 300 trades, then you're going to start having consistent results and you're going to know what works and what doesn't work. Let's talk about some examples of discipline that we see every single day that we need to act ourselves, that we see in our setups, but we still decide to say, hey, we're going to be disciplined here. So we're going to type out examples. One example that we do all the time is we follow our stops even when price looks like it might bounce. I need to make this black. Hold on. Following stops even when it looks like it's going to bounce. You can write that down as well. Price is coming down to the bottom of the opening range. We enter longs. We end up breaking up higher, but then break down. We look like we're about to bounce. Doesn't matter. We hit our stop loss. Get out of the trade. If it bounces and reclaims, you can always re-enter here and continue higher. Another example that we see all the time is sitting out when flow is not aligning. I'm just not going to say the win, but sitting out. Sitting out when your strategy does not align 100% to a T. Another example of a disciplined trader, something that I want all of you in here doing if you're watching this video or you're watching live, journaling every trade, even the red ones. Journal everything. There's no reason to not journal everything. Excuse my handwriting, guys. I don't know why it looks so bad. And last but not least, knowing when to walk away. Who has a struggle when here walking away? Let me know in the chat. Walking away. You've taken a win, you've taken a loss, you've taken a win, taken a loss, and you're up about $100. You're like, nah, I want to take one more. No, man, just get out. Who cares? You're better off up or down $100 than trying to force a trade that's going to crush your account. Now, inside of this top 4 mentorship where you're watching this video, and I honestly at this point, I might just give this video out to everybody because I don't know if y'all agree, if y'all are in here, but there's some value in this class. Like, we are just spitting straight facts and value in this class. But the standard that you need to put yourself by is not just learning how to trade, but learning how to be a complete professional. Because if you can't control clicking the buy or sell button, if you can't control clicking buy or sell, if you can't control yourself, what makes you think that you're going to be successful in this market whatsoever? If you can't physically tell yourself to lock out, you have this little lockout button over here. Actually, they make it really small for you so you can't see. They put that little lockout button like right up here at the top where it's like a little exclamation point, whatever thing. And you click it and you lock yourself out for the day, because the best trader is going to be able to survive even on the bad days. If you just decide after you've taken 1, 2, 3 losses to try and trade again by just hammering the buy or sell button, you're going to lose your account, and you could have had a trade the next day that could have made up for all of your losses today plus more. But instead, you decided to trade, not click the lockout button, and you decided to keep pressing buy and keep pressing sell until you finally got that notification on your account that says you've lost your account. Who in here can relate? That's the real question. Inside of my group, if you're watching this, from wherever you're watching this, my standard is we do not measure ourselves by profit. Our profit is not what we measure ourselves by. We do not measure profit. We measure ourselves in discipline score. You should be scoring yourself every day on discipline. Am I taking the right trades that I should be? Am I forcing trades? Am I chasing trades? Am I getting good entries? Discipline is the most important thing, as well as emotions, in this trading game if you want to be successful over a long period of time and have consistent profits. Like I say every day, I probably say it every single day. Process, y'all can fill in the blank. Over, we'll just do this. Profit. Every time. Process over profit. The process is a lot more important than the profit. Everybody in here can make money once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. But most people can't do this 1,000 more times. Okay? The process is more important than the profit. All right, let me give you guys some homework before we end off this lesson. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some homework, something to do on your off time. Number 1 is I need you guys to journal. Journal. Okay? Did you follow your rules? Did emotions take over? And what are you going to do differently in the next trade? Number 2, this week, set a rule that you can't break. Make a rule that you cannot break. For example, no trades after lunchtime. And that means you're going to stop trading after lunch for the rest of the week. Okay, that's one example. Number 3, rate yourself. Actually, let's call it this. We'll call it an end of week reflection. We'll just say reflect. I don't know why I'm making it so complicated. Reflect. Give yourself a score 1 through 10, A to Z. I don't care how you do it. And figure out what you rate yourself week by week. Because if you can do this week, and then do it next week, and then the week after. I had someone here the other day inside of my top floor lesson that I'm teaching right now tell me that once they started journaling, their trades got a lot better and a lot more disciplined, and they started taking less trades. So my homework for you is to journal, set a rule that you can't break for the rest of the week, and make sure you do an end of week reflection. Make sure you're seeing how your rules are being followed, and during that reflection, your emotional control and your patience behind it. I'm going to end you off with this closing message, okay? End you off with this. Closing message. Discipline is what builds you as a trader. Your emotions will always test you, but your discipline will decide whether you grow or reset. The market pays disciplined traders. Everyone else pays the market. That's going to conclude my lesson. If you're watching this on YouTube, wherever I post this, make sure you leave a like, give me some feedback. If you're watching this in the top floor, let me know some feedback as well. Would love to hear it. Y'all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys all in the next class.